Hey there, YouTubers. Unboxing video time. So, I'm inside. The nice temperatures in here. Got the woman out there lawn mowing. And, guess that's what happens when you're working weekends at the house indoors, right? Gotta have somebody do the lawn. Alright, so we got Noctua, another Noctua. God, I love the Noctua. This one, you know, I've got all kinds of Noctua coolers, obviously, for the channel. And this one's a little different from the ones I've been buying from these guys, the big monsters. Though this box is got to be at least a few pounds. This should be a single 140 millimeter fan with a big tower on it. So a little different than what I like for overclocking and for my best CPUs. If I can get this thing open. Let me pause this a second. Dang, it took me all of a minute to get that tab out of there. Alright, so this should be LGA 1151 AM4. What we care for is LGA 1200. Will it be compatible? So I'll do a video later when we determine that. It may be on the website, but you know, never hurts. So also LGA 2000. There's the 1151 and AMD. So we have different manuals for the three, which is common with these guys. This looks like it's the bracket. Yeah, this will be my 1151 bracket and hopefully LGA 1200 bracket. This bracket is, I guess, the AM4 most likely. And this may also work for 2000. Now in this part they give you, what do we got here? Extra fan brackets, which is good to mount a second fan. Noctua thermal paste, which is good. Stupid me bought a big tube of Noctua and I keep getting these CPU fans in, so now I have a lot of extra. There should be a Noctua, yeah, nameplate there to put on your PC, and the low noise adapter is in here as well. Some other adapters, additional Phillips head screwdriver. I personally like my magnetic one, so it's nice they include that, but I'll never use it. Now, I was thinking this was going to be a little smaller, but I guess I should have known 140 millimeters, pretty big, right? I'm looking for the ideal, oh gosh, that is big. I'm looking for the ideal CPU cooler take on the road with me. And I think, honestly, I just installed it in the wife's gaming computer. So I may have screwed up. I may have to trade that out with something else. She may not notice. It's early. It's still early. She's getting used to the computer. Maybe I'll stick one of these other ones in there. Okay, so, wow. This is like a Cooler Master Hyper 212 on steroids, right? This thing's ginormous. I honestly was going to get this for a ITX, might seem crazy, an ITX motherboard, and yeah, that's not going to work. So, get what you pay for, right? No, just kidding. So, big old 140 millimeter fan. This was covering the bottom where it's going to contact your CPU. Of course, there'll be thermal paste there when I do the installation. There's a massive heat fin, and this is a big one. So that would probably be half of the NH15DS, I believe. One of those has two fans. That one is two of these in a single fan. So with the brackets, I could possibly borrow one of those fans if I wanted to. You know, usually you don't get a whole lot more cooling adding a second fan, but we potentially might just borrow a fan if, you know, I have one sitting around. So overall, I expect good things out of this. You know, this should easily clear the RAM and all those issues you would have. Let's grab a motherboard just so you can see. So this would be a compatible motherboard, LGA 1151, H370. So, you know, with your fan, you've got intake side and the exhaust side. I'll have to look at the directions unless they've reversed this, but you know, usually you would have this, it'll be facing this way, right? So we'll put the mounts in and have it sit there. This will push cool air across the heatsink through here, and then, you know, your case fan, and then having a case fan over here, hopefully it'll suck all that hot air out of there. Now I'll go ahead and sit that on top of that because that's about right where it's going to sit. Let's take this off so you can kind of get an idea. Looks like, you know, we'll have RAM clearance. So one negative, obviously, if I've got this lined up good, if you have tall RAM, it's going to, you know, somewhat block your cool air. The more you raise this fan up, the less cool air you're getting down at the bottom, right? So if you look at the heat sink, everything's going to be hottest down here as it travels away, you know, because heat basically goes to where it's cooler. And then this is usually, you know, the coolest point on your heat sink. Of course, my hand's in the way. But so if you put the fan up, you know, you're cooling what's cooler anyway. So it's good to get the fan lower. So in this case, you know, RAM-wise, if you're going with 16 gigs, you're going to be second and fourth place away from the CPU. So here and there. So it looks like it'll probably be pretty good. I think, you know, if you have crappy 2666 megahertz RAM, there's not an issue. It's when you get into the taller stuff. Something, I don't have the RAM in front of me, but something like this guy where it might start to block that a little bit. But other than that, you know, it looks like it's going to be a good setup. I think the fan's sitting about as low as it probably needs to sit. You could probably go down just a little bit more. But overall, I think this is going to work out pretty good. And I will probably put this on a CPU that I can overclock, hopefully, and we will see what kind of temps we get out of it. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.